Greetings and welcome to the Ezekiel Taylor Foundation's 5th annual Scholarship Gala and Silent Auction. I'm your host, as always, KERVANCE, and can you believe that it was just 5 years ago that I was introduced to you in downtown Chicago as we started this journey of supporting the education and advancement of young black men all over the country who had been impacted by the nation and the city's gun violence. 5 years ago, TENISHA Taylor saw the need in her community to shift and step up to fill in the gap to support so many African-American males in their quest for opportunity, exposure, and higher learning. And as a result, that need continues now more than ever. Can you believe that this year we have seen an increase in gun violence all over this nation? We've seen an increase in gun violence in the city of Chicago. And we believe that we will take everything that we've gathered, everything that we've garnished, and everything we've put together to implement change and save lives. Despite the horrible news, we're on a mission to impact at least one life at a time. And you know that you, as ladies and gentlemen, are going to help us as we still rise. So I'm asking you to put your hands together and welcome to the stage our founder and our CEO, Ms. TENISHA Taylor of the Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship Foundation. TENISHA, welcome.
Good evening, Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship board members, parents, staff, students, donors, and supporters. I am thrilled to welcome you to the 5th annual Scholarship Gala for the Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship Foundation. Can you believe it's been 5 years? 5 years already. 5 years of awarding scholarships to young men who are walking across college campuses all over this country. It's been 5 years of one-on-one mentoring. It's been 5 years of life skill programming, all in the name of my father, Ezekiel Taylor. You know, we do more than just write checks, as you can see. We fill in the gap as these young men travel through this journey that we call life. And life has been tough this year. We have been in a global pandemic that has been devastating. We've also dealt with police brutality and also the black on black crime that is still happening in so many cities like Chicago across America. In the midst of all of this tragedy, in the midst of trauma, yet our young men still rise. Tonight we celebrate Black male excellence, 22 amazing young men who will be walking across college campuses this fall. Many of them attending historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs, for the very first time. So before we introduce you to a few of them, KERVANCE, tell us how people can support us tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know the call, you know the responsibility, and you know that we need your support. And there are 4 ways you can give throughout tonight's program. You can donate online at eztaylor.org by simply going to the website. You can use PayPal or Cash App, and you can find it typing in EZTaylor FDN. Or you can drop a check in the mail at P.O. Box 22, Glenwood, Illinois, 60425. And if you're in the mode for doing some shopping for a good cause, head over to the biddingowl.com/Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship. Bidding Owl allows us to be able to do this silent auction throughout the course of the night. And we have amazing items up for bid in our silent auction. We have a great vacation package. Like this package, it's going to be impactful because it's all inclusive. It's a trip to Cabo, Mexico, and a trip to Puerto Vallarta. And your investment, your bid, will not only have you having a good time out of the country, but you're also being impacted scholarships for young black men all over the world. With this going on, there are even more one-on-one opportunities to have meet and greets with R&B singer Anthony Hamilton. We've got a great massage package. We've got custom suit packages for men. And there are so many more items in this silent auction that's going to help make sure these kids and these young men get off to school with no issue. The auction closes at midnight Pacific time. So head over to thebiddingowl.com right now and use your financial resources to give scholarships to black men all over the country.
Thanks so much, KERVANCE. Now, let's get started. Introducing you to the newest scholarship winners, class of 2021, right now. Congratulations, Andre Bass. Andre graduated from De La Salle Institute with a 3.0 GPA. He's headed to Morehouse College in Atlanta, majoring in business administration. Next up, Julian Cole. Julian is holding it down with a 4.5 GPA from Air Force Academy High School. He's headed to the nation's capital in the fall to attend Howard University, majoring in biology. Hey, Julian, welcome to the family.
Hey, Ms. Taylor, I'm glad to be here.
Very good. I like that shirt representing those HBCUs.
Well, you know, at Howard.
CAU. Very good. So listen, you are headed to Howard, getting ready to major in biology. Tell me why biology?
So the reason why I want to go into biology is because I want to use that degree to go into medical school and specialize in cardiology. The reason why is because it's a tribute to those who have suffered from heart attacks and heart problems in general, particularly my grandmother, who had a heart attack and a stroke not less than 2 years ago. She's surviving and recovering quite well today. But unfortunately, a dear family member of mine died a year ago of a heart attack, and that had a great big impact on me. And that's why I want to use that as a tribute to them, so I can help, others who also suffer from heart attacks and heart problems.
Very good. That's an amazing aspiration that you have, and we want to be able to call you Dr. Cole one day. So we are proud, and it's good to see African American males in the healthcare profession. So we're really proud of you. We had a chance to hang out and meet the other night. You got a chance to meet the board of directors, our staff, some of the other Ezekiel Taylor scholarship winners. What did you think? What was the vibe you got from our family?
So at first, since it was a new environment for me and I'd never been to like a scholarship meetup like that, a photo shoot, and I knew there would be expectations, like high expectations of us, because we received a scholarship and we want to make you proud. And I thought it was going to be kind of uptight, but no, that was changed for me when I met your mother, your friends. They were so loving and passionate. And the way you guys were so set on us to achieve our goals, for our educational goals, and become what we want, our passions, it really just threw me out of the ballpark, because you're just so nice people. And, it makes me feel like it's just like my family.
Very good. You are now a part of our family. So, and you're going to be a part of our family for the next 4 years. Tell me, how will this scholarship help you financially?
So at first, it was really difficult for me to find ways to pay off college, because, to be honest, I was like my own man and doing all the college search and financial aid. And I did have support from my family, but as far as I know, they didn't all have the experience of knowing what to look at and what to apply for. So I only had my counselors, and we only had limited communication. So it was just down to me to try to figure out what is good for me and what's not, and look for different options. And that's when I come across the Ezekiel Taylor Foundation. When I learned about all of you and learned about what your goals are, they played a significant role into paying off my first year of college and Howard. And now I get to sit back and relax and enjoy college life and be my own man and my own identity.
Very good. Well, you make us proud, and we are so excited to have you now in our family. We will walk with you in this journey for the next 4 years. So we are here for you and here to support you. So thanks for hanging out. Have a good one.
You too, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Next, we have Caleb Hardaway. Caleb graduated with a 4.5 GPA from Von Steuben Metropolitan Science. He's headed to Columbia College, majoring in animation this fall. Check out this drawing. Caleb is so talented. His Chicago skyline drawing was selected as our art piece for this year. Up next, Nathan Hugger. Nathan ended his high school career with a 3.1 GPA at Marine West. He'll be headed to Triton College, majoring in construction technology. Introducing Brian Pugh. Brian held down a 4.5 at Lindblom Math and Science Academy. He's headed to North Carolina A&T in the fall, majoring in computer engineering and also playing the piano. lastly, holding it down for the class of 2021 is Ayodele Thomas Kadifu. Ayodele also graduated from Lindblom Math Science Academy. He holds a 3.5 GPA, and this fall he's also joining those Morehouse Maroon Tigers in Atlanta, majoring in business administration. Congratulations to our newest scholarship winners, the class of 2021 that's now joining our family, the Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship family. So, you know, we can't do this work without you. We can't do this work without so many volunteers. We have a phenomenal board of directors. We have a phenomenal group of volunteers. I want to make sure we take a moment to just really recognize our board of directors right now. Valma Pate, the executive director of the foundation, and Brenda Bryant and the rest of our board, thank you so much for the work that you are helping us do right now. And speaking of our donors and our volunteers and our board of directors, I want to take a moment right now to introduce you to Mr. and Mrs. Dennis Banks. Okay, so tell me why it's so important for you all to support our foundation.
I would tell you, for me, there are really a couple reasons, probably two primary. The first one is it's the focus. There's a quote that someone shared with me years ago, and I never forgot it. And when I think of that quote, I think of the work that you're doing, and that is, you can't be what you can't see. And so when I think of your foundation, you're bringing sight to these young men. So for me, that's the first reason. And then the second reason is that from a very selfish perspective, it allows me to live out my personal conviction, which is, if you've been blessed, you should bless others. Okay.
And for me, supporting the foundation is personal as well. First of all, my husband supports it, so if it's important to him, it's important to me. We are community people, and so we are community driven, and we also live our lives in a way that will provide a model for our children. So it's important to support community, it's important to support family, and third, it's personal. When I look at these young men that you're supporting, I see my bonus child, I see my nephews, I see my cousins, and if we don't help our own, we can't expect anybody else to.
So tell me why you think our mission is so important to the entire community.
I think it goes back to the focus, but more specifically, you're placing this energy around this beautiful population in our community that's at risk for whatever reason. Our young black males they're vulnerable, and what your foundation does is it slows down, and it gives these young men like some comfort food. You let them know that, and I know this because I talk to you, and I know what our exchanges are like. But you let these young men know that we see them, and by seeing them, by you pouring into what you pour into these young men, it allows them, because they grow up and they become adults, and they become partners or spouses and business owners and educators and engineers and physicians. And so the gift that you're pouring in, it changes our community. It changes the trajectory of their lives, right?
Right. And for me, I just think about Jay-Z, who came out of the hip hop culture, the rap culture, which was not taken seriously, was just discarded. It's a $10 billion industry. How many lives has he impacted? How many people has he employed? How many boats has that tide lifted? So it's not just about our community. It's about the gifts and the talents that these young men have for the world.
So what would you say to other potential donors who are out there who are thinking about giving to our foundation?
So I would just say, if you want to make an impact, if you want to create a lasting legacy, support the Ezekiel Taylor Foundation to make a difference.
Thanks so much, Dennis and Zion Banks. You all are a phenomenal support system to our foundation. Now, let me introduce you to another couple, Brad and Dorothy Woods. They are a phenomenal support system for us as well.
TENISHA, thank you very much for having us. We count it a real privilege to be able to support the Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship Foundation. And I have several reasons, like Mr. Banks said, for supporting the foundation. First of all, when you look at giving to nonprofits, one of the first things you ask is about the financial integrity of the organization. And I have every confidence in the world that when I send money in to the Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship Foundation, that money is going to be used for what has been said. Another thing you look at is the board of directors, the people who lead it. And it's amazing to look at the profiles of the members of the board. You have educators, you have a pastor, you have entrepreneurs, you have people working in a wide variety of professions, and that must bring balance to the table when you have to make big decisions. And then the third thing I would say is the character of the scholars who are receiving the financial help. Almost every time I've gone to a basketball game at Clark Atlanta University, there have been scholars that saw me, and they came up to us, they sat with us, and took time to talk with us, to see how we are doing, and that says something about their character. Also, when a nonprofit endeavors to help other people, there's usually a vision that's been forged by some kind of a story. In this case, you're talking about a man named Ezekiel Taylor. He loved God, he loved his wife, he loved his daughter, he loved his community, but suddenly his life was senselessly taken by some violent people. But years later, as you once told me, when you sensed God was calling you to do this, he didn't ask you to do it, he told you to do it. And that's what's happening. And Ezekiel Taylor left a legacy. And although the term black male excellence, I don't remember it being used at that time, but if any man knew about it, he did. And that has figured in to what the Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship Foundation is doing today.
That's good, Brad. So, Dorothy, tell me why it's important for everyone, not just black people, not just white people, but people of all walks of life, everyone in the community. Why is it so important for everyone to put their hand in the pot and invest?
I was actually thinking of the words of Martin Luther King Jr. He said to his little children at his kitchen table back in 1968, and I was going to quote here, he said, and I think that we should all reflect upon it and heed his thoughts. He said, I'm going to work and do everything that I can to see that you get a good education. I don't ever want you to forget that there are millions of God's children who will not and cannot get a good education. And I don't want you feeling that you are better than they are, for you will never be what you ought to be until they are what they ought to be. So you won't be what you ought to be until others are what they ought to be. And those are the words of Martin Luther King Jr. back in 1968.
That's so good, Dorothy. Thank you for sharing that. Brad, you're a pastor, just like MLK was. You have served in very poor communities, all in Latin America, and you believe that Christ lives in the ghetto. Tell me why.
Well, it goes back to when I was in high school. I'm not going to say what years, but it goes back to when I was in high school, and I met a man who was a pastor on the south side of Chicago, 36th in Michigan. And he wrote a book called Christ in the Ghetto. It just talked about his experiences, how his ministry went. And his ministry also put about 33 young men through college. And that just fired a vision in me. And that I've always been interested, not only in foreign missions, but I've always been interested in the development of young African-American men in this country. And now the Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship Foundation has given me a channel by which I can continue to pursue that vision.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard from a few of our phenomenal donors here at the Ezekiel Taylor Foundation. These supporters understand that if we want to make a difference in our communities, we've got to put our money where our mouth is. So as we continue to watch tonight's program, remember that the more you give, the more we can award. There are 4 ways for you to give throughout tonight's program. You can donate online at eztaylor.org. That's eztaylor.org. Or you can go to PayPal or Cash App, EZTaylorFDN. Finally, if you drop a check in the mail, you want to do it the old school way, you can email us or mail us at P.O. Box 22, Glenwood, Illinois, 60425. But if you're really in the mood to have some fun while you're spending, you'll be able to do some shopping for a good cause. So head over to biddingowl.com/Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship. And there we have some amazing items up for bid in our silent auction. Let me give you some idea of what you'll be able to bid on. We have some great vacation packages. We have an all-inclusive trip to Cabo, Mexico, and a trip to Puerto Vallarta. There's even a one-on-one meet and greet with R&B singer Anthony Hamilton. And we've got great massage packages, custom suits for men, and golf packages. And there's so much more that you'll be able to bid on by helping these young black men have scholarships to HBCUs and colleges all over the nation. The auction closes at midnight Pacific time. So head over to thebiddingowl.com and do what you need to do right now.
Thanks so much, KERVANCE. Now it's time to introduce you to our returning scholars, the sophomores. Let's take a look. Congratulations, Jalen Holmes. His freshman year turned out at Howard University in his basement, but that's okay. He gets to head there in the fall for the full college experience. Go Bisons. Up next, we've got Josiah Kimsey. He's a sophomore at Eastern Michigan with a 3.1 GPA. Say congratulations to Eric Pace. Eric holds it down at Albion College in Michigan with a 3.2. Shout out Matthew McGowan. He's a rising sophomore with a 3.2 at Southern Illinois at Edwardsville. So those are our sophomores for the year, and they are walking across campuses all across this country. But guess what? There's no place like home, and home is where the heart is, in Chicago. And we have so many donors and supporters right here, so many corporations and organizations that support our mission, like the Boca Restaurant Group. I'm sitting in the Hoxton Hotel, which is located in the West Loop, 200 North Green Street, right in Chicago, Illinois. And in the Hoxton Hotel is Sierra, a delicious restaurant, which is owned by Boca Restaurant Group. And Boca Restaurant Group is the sponsor for tonight's event. And I am sitting here with the lovely, wonderful Michelle Herndon, who is the Director of Diversity for the Boca Restaurant Group. Thank you so much for having us tonight. Michelle, tell me why diversity and inclusion is so important to the Boca Group.
We realized a year ago after the George Floyd tragedy that we as a company had to do better by our people, better by the community, really take a breath and listen to our employees and do what was right for the community.
So tell me, how can partnering with organizations such as our Scholarship Foundation really support the community?
We have a monthly giving program with Boca Restaurant Group where all 19 of our restaurants participate in a monthly giving program. So for every meal that is served, there is $1 that's donated to that organization, much like what we did with you folks last year. And that keeps people involved, invigorated, and excited about the approach that we are taking to involving the community as well as our restaurants and bridging that gap.
So tell me why supporting the Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship Foundation was so important to you.
Well, as you know, this program is so near and dear to my heart. My nephew Derek Daniels was a recipient of this scholarship a few years ago, and that impacted his life. And after seeing the way it impacted not only his life, but the other students, I was sold. It was too easy to do. So we are enjoying our partnership with EZ Taylor and all the students and making impact on their lives.
Let me help you understand that if it weren't for the support of the community, I wouldn't be standing before you today, because so many people in my community gave, sacrificed, and invested for me to be able to do what I did for higher education, to get the education that was necessary for me to get beyond my community, and to ultimately allow me to make a change. What I realize is it literally takes a community to raise a child. And when you're focusing in on a black male in the violent city of Chicago that we've seen so many situations, so many circumstances impact their lives for the negative, we are the story that allows their lives to be impacted for the positive. And tonight, you're going to be able to make a difference. So I'm asking you, I'm pushing you, I'm encouraging you to give, and give in major numbers. You spend money on things that you forget about, that don't matter, and that don't create an impact. But tonight, your dollars can make a difference. So I'm encouraging you to connect with everybody you know that believes in young black men and give right now. I need you to stop what you're doing and go to the website, eztaylor.org. Give there. Go to our Cash App at EZTaylorFDN. Give there. Go to our PayPal at Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship Foundation and give there. And more importantly, if you want to get something back for your giving, I want you to go and bid on the great items in our silent auction. Go to thebiddingowl.com/Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship, and you'll be able to be impacted and receive a great opportunity. Let's make sure that what you're doing changes the lives of so many. Let's hear from some more of our annual donors so that you'll know how much our impact is being made all over the world.
When TENISHA first told me she was starting a scholarship fund in the honor of her father and asked me to contribute, I really wanted to. For one thing, she has been a mentor to me for a long time. She helped see stories through that I was passionate about. She helped fund them. She believed in me, and she was always positive. It helped a great deal in my career, and I wanted to help her see her dream through. Not only that, but her dream is to make sure that young men with talent and drive and passion are able to go to college and get their degrees and see their dreams through. And I think that's a great goal. I don't give to a lot of organizations, but I certainly wanted to give to TENISHA's, and I'm so glad that I'm able to help, and we can see the results every single day. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of it.
It's been suggested that an individual that can change what's within can ultimately change what's around. And that is the exact reason why I support the Ezekiel Taylor Foundation. Because this organization helps young men who come from adverse situations to change what's within their minds, their hearts, and their spirits, so that they can change what's around, the environments in which they exist and engage. This is a worthwhile endeavor because these young men are going to be better, and as a result, everybody and everything that they touch and come into contact with is going to be better. Plug in, support, donate, become a cheerleader, do whatever you have to do to support the Ezekiel Taylor Foundation. I promise you, you're going to change someone's life, and they're going to change the world, all because of your support.
Hi, my name is AJ Walkley, and I'm the founder of the charitable bracelet business 3 Janes Designs. Proceeds from sales of my handmade bracelets go to causes I personally feel strongly about, and the Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship Foundation is one of them. I am fortunate to call TENISHA Taylor a colleague of mine, and when I heard about her foundation, I knew I wanted to help in some way. I believe that the young Black men in this country are filled with potential, and the more opportunities we can give them, the better off we will all be moving forward. It's been a fraught year for the Black community particularly, though the truth is all years since the time this country was formed have been fraught for Black Americans. The more we all can do to raise up the next generation of Black youth, the better. I am humbled and honored to contribute in my own small way to this important cause. Congratulations to everyone. Onward and upward.
My name is Eric Brown, Clark Atlanta University, class of 1997. And I give to the Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship Foundation because I believe in sowing seeds into our youth. Hopefully what I donate will enable a young Black man to pay for tuition, room and board, books, or even a decent meal, because if we can alleviate finances as a concern, then maybe not only more Black men will go to school, but graduate. And I'll leave you with this. In my freshman year, 1993, I arrived at CAU and quickly noticed that there was 1 freshman male dorm and 6 freshman female dorms. And at the time, I thought that was awesome. But as I got older, I realized how sad that was. And if we give to the Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship Foundation, then maybe we can close that gap.
Hi, I'm Jacob QUALLS.
I'm Erica QUALLS.
And we support the Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship Foundation in order to provide the young men in Chicago who've been exposed to violence an opportunity at a higher education, experience of lifelong bonds, as well as access to opportunities that they may not otherwise have.
These young men have already decided that the trauma that they've experienced is not going to define them. So we, as a community, have the obligation to make sure that the debt that they may accumulate in college doesn't define them as they move into the next stage of life. I was very, very fortunate to have the generosity of others, and my husband was as well, allow us to escape our neighborhoods in order to attend college. We just want to return that favor to others.
The EZ Taylor Educational Foundation provides us the opportunity to pour into the lives of others just as others have poured into our lives. And having a wonderful return on investment in seeing these young men prosper in Chicago and throughout the world. Thank you.
So next, let's get ready for our juniors. Take a look. Jordan Alfred is a graduate of Homewood Flossmoor High School. He'll be a junior at Illinois Institute of Technology. Nico Nolan Brady, he's a graduate of Rich South High School and he'll be a junior at Central State University. Johnny Brown is down in sunny Miami, Florida at the University of Miami. He's entering his junior year as well. Daniel Gay is entering his 3rd year at Clark Atlanta University, my alma mater. He's a graduate of Lynn Bloom Math and Science Academy, and he plays baseball for the CAU Panthers. Up next, Kirkland Studio. He is entering his 3rd year at Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville, studying pre-law.
We've got another junior in the group, Emmanuel Taylor. He's a graduate of Gwendolyn Brooks High School. He's studying veterinary medicine at Iowa State University. He's the recipient of our Allen B. Taylor Healthcare Scholarship. This special scholarship was established by our board member, Dr. Yolanda Coleman, to encourage more Black males to enter the healthcare profession.
Up next is up-and-coming music producer, Justin MALIK Powell. Justin is a graduate of Walter Payton College Prep. He's a rising junior with a 3.8 GPA at the University of Southern California. Check out his work.
Justin, this music video and track is phenomenal. Amazing. Like, I really, really love it. What inspired you to make this beat?
Yes, so me going to school at USC in Los Angeles, I was really trying to blend the two sounds that I hear all the time, the sounds of Chicago that I grew up with, hearing like the producers like Monty Booker and Kanye West, and then trying to blend that with, you know, the iconic G-Funk sound that we like here with Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube and Dr. Dre and all of those amazing people. So that's really trying to fuse those two different styles together, because that's my story. I came from Chicago, I go to LA, and I'm really trying to put myself in the music that you all hear.
But you're out in sunny California, you know, really chasing your dreams, and we love it, and we're so proud of you. But when you think about Chicago and the images that are seen with our young Black men, sometimes I know it can be hard to see or depressing to see. What are the images that you really want to portray when people think of young African American males?
Yeah, as you said, it's really hard to see those images. We see them from the days we're born, trying to tell us that this is the box we fit in. We're not supposed to go to school. We're not supposed to achieve academically. But the truth of the matter is that is what we do. We go to these high places and we excel once we're there. So I want them to portray us like that. We're leaders, we're caring people. All the Black men I know in the community, they care about the community, trying to make the world a better place every single day. But you know, the media continues to show this image of Black men trying to tear down our homes, tear down our own neighborhoods. But that's just not the truth. We see it every single day where we're working together as a community to build and create something new for the future generations. So that's really what I want to see portrayed out there in the media, because that's what's happening every single day.
Absolutely, I love it. You make me so proud, Justin. Tell me, what would you want to say to our donors who are watching? We have so many supporters and corporations and donors who are really paying for you young men to go out to college and do what you're doing to pursue your dream. What would you want to say to them?
First and foremost, I would like to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. You know, the system, I was saying, was pitted against us. We're not supposed to be here, but you all believed in us so much to give your hard-earned money and help us continue our dreams and continue our academic careers. So I would like to say thank you. This would not be possible without you all. So many of the opportunities that I've gotten in school and some of the people I've met, the connections that I've made, they would just simply not be possible without you all's assistance. So just thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Justin. Continue making us proud. Continue making those beats that we are jamming to. And we will hope to see and pray to see and hear your beats on the radio and all of that great stuff. So thank you, and keep making us proud out there. We are really rooting for you.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm hanging out with Kyle Santillan of WGCI Radio right here in Chicago. Kyle, wasn't that a dope video?
Absolutely, you know, the beats were vibing, you know what I mean? I like what he's doing, so I hope he keeps it up for sure.
So Kyle, tell me, how important is mentoring?
I think that's probably the best thing that you could do for yourself, because if you don't have anybody giving you the information, showing you the ropes, letting you know how things are done, you find yourself just kind of spinning your wheels. You know what I mean? But if you could find somebody that says, listen, you're doing good here, but you need to step it up over here, or I see what you're doing with this, but maybe you need to take a look at this, you know what I mean? And somebody could really pinpoint those things for you and show you how things are done. Very important to find a mentor. The best thing you could probably do for yourself is find a mentor. But you have to go and look for them. I don't know why a lot of times people just in general feel like a mentor is going to fall into their lap. You have to be the one to kind of reach out and say, hey, this is what I'm trying to do with my life, with my career. Can I get some feedback? Could I get some help? Could you point me in the right direction? So you have to be willing to speak up, go for what it is that you want to go for, reach out to people and let them know what it is you want. And I think you'll find that 9 times out of 10 people are receptive and they're willing to help you out. Sometimes we have that wall that keeps us from reaching out and asking for help at times, and we have to get past that and just go for it.
So Kyle, you work in the media industry. You're on the radio every morning, WGCI, right here in Chicago, and you get to report on these stories of our young men, our young African-American males. How do we in the media change the narrative of our young Black boys?
I think it's important. I think the best thing we can do is tell our truth. You know what I mean? Tell the complete story. I know a lot of times we see one side of a story, and a lot of us will be looking at it and say, okay, I understand where you're coming from, but that's not everything. So I know for me personally, it's like there are a lot of things that do happen in the city that are not necessarily positive all the times. So we have to go out of our way to find the positive stories to balance that out and tell the truth and tell the success stories and tell about the people that are really out here putting in the work to try to better the community and better the neighborhood. And you know what I mean? That people that are overcoming whatever the circumstances are, like those stories are there too. So in my opinion, it's just telling those stories as well, including those stories as well, not just being limited to whatever bad news might be coming out of the city or a neighborhood or our community or whatever the case may be. No, talk about the kid that got the scholarship, you know what I mean, that's going to college, that overcame whatever the obstacles were, and then that gives hope for other people to be able to do the same thing, in my opinion.
Kyle, thank you so much for joining us tonight and being a part of our foundation and being an honorary chairperson for this year's Scholarship Gala.
Thank you for having me. This is an amazing event, an amazing foundation. I appreciate everything that you guys are doing, and I'm honored to be a part of it, so thank you.
Now it's time to present our college seniors. These young men have been with us for the past 3 years. We've watched them grow, and now it's their last year in college, and it's time for them to soar. Let's take a look. Kamari Bell is entering his senior year at Fisk University with a 3.0 GPA. He graduated from Butler College Preparatory High School. And a huge shout out to Derek Daniels. He holds it down with a 3.7 GPA at my alma mater, Clark Atlanta University. He's also a graduate of Kenwood Academy High School. Up next, Ezekiel Stevens. He's a Morehouse man with a 3.6 GPA. He graduated from Marist High School. You know, Zeke was selected to serve on our scholarship committee this year, and in the final round of our selection process, Zeke not only sat in on the interviews, but he also decided to give out his own scholarship. Take a look. So Zeke, tell me, what made you want to start a scholarship foundation?
Yeah, so me wanting to start a scholarship foundation really started to fester in December. It really just started by prayer. I didn't know what I wanted to do, what I wanted my legacy to be coming from Morehouse, and really around March, God just started to reveal to me just how did he help me go through Morehouse, and it was truly through scholarship. So I started praying and asked God to help me financially, and once he started to help me, I felt like it was just my responsibility to help the next person.
So paying it forward is key, right? So what do you tell the next generation of how, you know, we're paying it forward through our foundation, and now you're our scholar, and now you're getting ready to pay it forward to a few more young men. Talk about the importance of paying it forward.
Honestly, it's probably the most important thing, because it gives somebody, like myself, it gives a direction. Like when you come in, it's like you're just wide-eyed. Like you have the world at your fingertips. You can do whatever you want. And the Ezekiel Taylor family really poured into me through scholarship and through many ways. So with that being said, I literally felt like it was just my responsibility just to go back and do the next thing and pay it forward as well. Oh,
you make my heart smile just to see that we have poured into you, and now you're getting ready to pour into another generation of young people coming forward. God is going to bless you and bless those, and hopefully they will too, right? Like a spark, continue the flame, and then they will pay it forward, and that's how we build our community.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Love you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh. Our rising seniors in the group also include Marlon Stokes. Marlon is a graduate of Rich South High School. He attends Howard University, and he's currently interning with American Express. And lastly, Datrick Woody. Datrick is a graduate of Lynn Bloom Math and Science Academy, and he's headed back to Taylor University in Indiana with a 3.0 GPA. Congratulations to all of our 2021 scholarship winners. You make us so extremely proud. Now, as you get ready to figure out your career and get into the workforce, we want to introduce you to one of our past recipients, Kenneth Hughes Jr. So you've been in the workforce for a year now. You're a credit analyst for Fifth Third Bank. Tell me what it's like.
You know, it's definitely a change of scenery, especially considering the fact that I'm a product of an HBCU as well. First and foremost, literally just being a year in the fold, it's honestly a blessing. Just in order to like finally be able to network with people. As you know, I did start during the actual pandemic, so I was working from home for a good little while. I was able to go into the office rather sporadically, but like it really wasn't a lot of people coming in. Maybe it was like 5 or 6 people on the floor at a time. So now, given that we're back at full capacity and things in that nature, I'm actually able to talk to the people that I've been emailing for the last 12 months now, and it's honestly just a good feeling, just to be able to do certain work for certain people, and like underwriting like their loan docs and stuff like that. It's honestly been truly a blessing.
So you talk about mental toughness, and you are a proud graduate of an HBCU, a proud graduate of Central State University. Tell me how the HBCU experience prepared you for the workforce.
My HBCU experience definitely prepared me for the real world. One, because it really helped me build a mental toughness. Coming from an HBCU, we go through a lot of things that students of PWIs may or may not necessarily go through. So given that I was able to build mental toughness and learn how to maneuver through adverse situations and stuff like that, I was able to actually come into corporate America with an open mind, knowing that, hey, I can do this just like the rest of these people. I'm able to actually come in and conquer and literally do my work and do it as well as my other counterparts and stuff like that as well. So I would pretty much say my work ethic and honestly like my mental health has really helped me sustain where I am now.
So you talk about being mentally strong. You entered into the workforce right when the George Floyd tape hit. Everybody in our country saw it. People saw it internationally. We witnessed his death, and we kept seeing it over and over again. Once that happened, the Black Lives protests happened in city after city. And here you are, a young black man entering into the workforce. How was it like going into a corporation, a large corporation like Fifth Third Bank, as a young black man fresh into the workforce, and you're having to show up every day authentically who you really are? How did that work?
Well, at first, a challenge was definitely presented. I will say that when you have people that are willing to be an ally of your racial and ethnic group, and like literally stand in solidarity with you and at least attempt to understand, okay, why are my people in a civil unrest? Why are they tearing up a world-class city like Chicago? And honestly, it's because we're upset. We're upset because we're like one of a couple of other races that are like actually even being treated like this. So and it's been times where people may or may not have like understood where we were coming from, but in all honesty, I'm grateful for my coworkers that I do have who are actually willing to sit down and understand me and ask those questions. A lot of people kind of shy away from like those tough conversations, especially regarding like diversity and racial backgrounds and stuff like that, but those people who actually have the courage to sit down and say, hey Ken, what's wrong, or how come this is happening in the world today, or how do you feel about this, what can I do to make you feel more comfortable at work? And like honestly, like just really sitting down and having those conversations and like gaining those experiences with people has honestly kept me in corporate America as well.
Okay, so today you look really nice, you're in your professional suit, but when you don't have that suit on, when you're in just your regular, a hoodie, jogging pants, and you're out and about, what do you want people to see when they see you?
In all honesty, I don't want people to see us as predators. I don't want people to see us as violent beings or thugs or all of these people that are out here doing like these terrible things, because not all of us are like that. Now, yes, there are people who just so may be black men who are out here doing this type of thing, but people need to realize that not everyone is like that. not everyone is a statistic. Not everyone has fallen into the trap of the streets. And there are people who have actually went to college and came out of college and actually made something of themselves. So whether I'm here in my blue suit with my button-down shirt and my tie on and stuff like that, and whether I have on my skinny jeans and my Jordans and my hoodie and graphic t-shirt and stuff like that, I'm still the same person. I got this on 8 hours a day. I'm going to change into something else when I, of course, get out of this, but at the end of the day, me working at Fifth Third, me being a credit analyst, nobody can take that from me.
T, hearing from you and seeing these young men is heartwarming. And to know that we are literally saving lives through this program should encourage all of us to be a part of this mission. Giving is our rent for living. And I want to encourage you that every dollar you're putting into this contribution and this gala, this virtual opportunity allows us to go beyond Chicago, go beyond Atlanta. It allows us to go beyond the borders of our country, but it allows us to never stop changing the lives of young black men. And right now, our purpose is to raise money for scholarships. So I'm asking you, I'm pleading with you on behalf of so many young men that I've seen over this last 5 years that the Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship Foundation has impacted. We need your financial support. We need your dollars and we need your commitment. So I'm calling you to action. Go to our Cash App, the $ EZ Taylor FDN, give there. Give on our website at eztaylor.org right now. Don't hesitate, don't wait. And on PayPal at Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship Foundation, you can give there. Realize that the auction is still open, so you can go now and bid, and win some amazing opportunities and amazing gifts. Great items are in the silent auction at deep discounts, and all of the proceeds go to the Ezekiel Taylor Foundation. Go to thebiddingowl.com/Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship Foundation. Bidding ends at midnight Pacific time. Again, you got to move right now, and it allows you to do everything we need done to impact and change the lives of these black men. Give, and give now.
Thanks so much, KERVANCE. Well, now we've come to the end of our program. I hope that you have enjoyed this presentation tonight. I hope that you've enjoyed meeting our scholars. I want to thank you so much for watching tonight, and a special thank you to all of the corporations and organizations that support our mission. A special warm thank you to the Boca Restaurant Group and the Hoxton Hotel for showcasing us tonight, for hosting us tonight. We couldn't do this without you. So thanks so much. See you next year for the 6th year. Have a good night.